Welcome back, everybody. 4 p.m. CET. Welcome. This is the second ownCloud Tech Talk, this March 22, and we're really excited because what we're going to show you today is about ownCloud Infinite Scale. Some of you may have heard about it before. It's obviously TechPreview's ownCloud Infinite Scale is yet in TechPreview, but not for too long anymore. If you follow our channels, subscribe to newsletters, read our blog posts, then very soon, I believe, you can read something about a beta phase. Oh, this is really cool. And there's going to be a beta program as well, and you people can actually be part of that beta program. So keep an eye open on that. ownCloud.com's place to be. Once again, welcome everybody. As we have more people joining, my name is Jacob, ownCloud's head of marketing. Recently joined ownCloud January 1st, and I'm pretty excited. One reason why is actually ownCloud Infinite Scale. And I'm really happy that Patrick is with us today. He's product manager for ownCloud Infinite Scale, technical product manager. And he's going to show us two really cool features that have been developed, especially for ownCloud Infinite Scale. One is the web UI, a very brand new web UI, and the other one is called Spaces. And please keep an eye on that. Infinite Scale and Spaces. This is really exciting. GDPR, guys, this is really important. Recording is ongoing. If you unmute yourself, and we're happy if you do so, but then you'll be part of the recording, obviously, and the recording will be available to all of you, and for those registered after the call, you'll receive an email from us, and then there's a link you can download to the recording. Just listen to it, watch it, whatever you prefer. And if you have questions nonetheless and you do not wish to be part of the recording, then please use the chat function or the function which is called questions here in GoToWebinar. Most of you are I believe, familiar. After 2 long years of COVID, we have all been in some sort of webinars, and most of you will probably know these functionalities. So questions or chat is the place to be. I'll keep an eye on all that. I'm not going to talk too much, as this is techie for techie. This is why it's called Tech Talk, and that means marketing guy, be quiet, I tell every time, and this is really the idea. However, I can't resist. I have, to be honest, 4 polls for you, just to give us as an idea, and to give Patrick an idea where you guys are in terms of ownCloud Infinite Scale, if you have heard of it before and all that kind of stuff. And I really love you to participate in this. I'm going to start the first poll right away. You're going to see it, and then please just click on it. So I'll start it. Now, have you heard about ownCloud Infinite Scale before? Okay, so this is cool. Many of you have heard about it. Excellent. That's great. Okay, there's more answers coming in. Keep them going. Excellent. And let's see what does it tell us. Yes, 63% of you have heard about ownCloud Infinite Scale. Thanks for that. I like it. And I have a second question for you. And that is, have you already tried out ownCloud Infinite Scale Tech Preview? How about that? Okay. Very interesting as well. Close it, and let's see what it tells us. Yeah, no, not yet. The third, and the third. This is really cool. Obviously, some of you have already tried it, which is great, which means that you have actually found it. You can try ownCloud Infinite Scale in Tech Preview stage. Downloads available on ownCloud.com. If you browse down on a landing page, then you can just learn more about ownCloud Infinite Scale, and you'll find all the downloads available. So, Patrick, I think this is quite interesting, because obviously some of the people who have joined us today, they already know what we are talking about, at least partly, and maybe even know the features. So I'd like to encourage you to share your feedback with us, either in just get in contact with our community at ownCloud.com. If you know ownCloud.com, then you probably know as well that we have a forum which is called Central. You'll find that on our website as well in the community section, or just get in touch via community@ownCloud.com or marketing@ownCloud.com if you have any feedback regarding our webinars. And please keep it coming. Patrick, if you're ready, I'll hand over to you. Go for it.
Yeah, thanks, Jacob. And yeah, also a warm welcome from my side. My name is Patrick. I'm working as a product manager for ownCloud for quite a couple of years. As such, I'm working closely with engineering and on the one hand, and of course also on the other hand, I'm in good contact with our customers to make sure that our products meet their desires, their needs, their wishes. And yeah, today I have the pleasure to talk about ownCloud Infinite Scale, which is our new product generation that is, Jacob mentioned it, currently in a technology preview state, but it will soon see the light of the market. So Infinite Scale has been built with the experience of more than 10 years in enterprise file sync and share and content collaboration. And yeah, the beta phase is meanwhile right in front of us. So naturally, I'm excited to provide some sneak peek insights into new features and improvements that Infinite Scale, or oCIS, as we used to call it, comes with. And yeah, as this is a tech talk, I will not talk so much about any backgrounds behind Infinite Scale, what it is, product strategy, positioning, things like that, but more focus on actual features and hands-on experience. So if you want to know more about the product as a whole, you can basically watch talks about Infinite Scale from our last ownCloud conference, and of course also follow our communication around it. So yeah, we'll make sure to provide also YouTube links together with today's tech talk. So with that, let's take a look at today's agenda. First of all, I'm going to introduce ownCloud Web, which is our new web interface for ownCloud. I'll give a short demo and walk through the most important aspects together with you. Then I'm going to introduce the new Lighthouse collaboration feature we call Spaces, and also give a hands-on demo of the current state there. And last but not least, I of course want to say some words on the next steps for the product launch. And I think we also will have some time for questions later on. So yeah, let's get right into things. As I said, we're currently in a technology preview phase, and some of the things that I'll be showing are work in progress. So they come right from the development kitchen, so to say. And yeah, with the development of ownCloud Web, we are of course aiming to give our platform a fresh and modern face that covers all the needs a user has, of course. And it's easy to use and fun for users at the same time. So before I put that on the screen, I'd like to show you the classic interface or the classic design first, so that you have a good comparison. So this, what you see on the screen now, is the current ownCloud design that's in the market, in the product for quite some time. Some of you, I hope, are familiar with it. Yeah, basically our Files app with all the features that you see in here. And now, as you got some time to get the impression, also for those who maybe haven't seen it yet, now let's switch over to ownCloud Web. So yeah, here we are. And I hope this is already, for many of you, something I would call a wow effect. For me, it is. I absolutely love it, and I hope you do so too. So let's maybe quickly check through all the elements that we have. Of course, this is very modern, but we also are somewhat conservative here because we really wanted to make sure that existing ownCloud users also feel at home, also know where all the features and functionalities are, and basically can continue their work after say migrating to the new interface and new product generation. So what we have here is basically a top bar as a frame around the application. You have an application switcher, which is the primary navigation. You have a search bar for filtering the current view, and also, say for example, I want to look here for shares or archive, but it also includes a global search, of course. You have, for those who are working at night, for example, or who simply don't like bright interfaces, we have a dark mode as well, which you can simply switch here. I think that comes in quite neatly. And feedback feature, and also here where you basically have the user icon, you can go to settings, you can log out, and you also see your quota usage, basically how much storage you have left as a user. So we also have, like in the classic interface, we have a left sidebar and a right sidebar. Both can now be collapsed so that you have basically a focus view on the files, on the file list here. On the left and the left sidebar, as usual, you have the secondary navigation, and in the right sidebar, if I, for example, choose this document, I have a details view that gives me some information about this document, that has actions, and that allows me, for example, to share with people, to create links as usual, and for example, also to access the versioning feature in here. Apart from that, there's also, of course, the file list, which is the main part, so to say, of our application, where you have nice new icons. I really love them. They are quite colorful and look modern, I think. What's really new here is that you have a right-click menu that gives you all the actions you can do easily at hand for users. So quick actions on the one hand, but also other actions, also new features like moving or copying files that are not available in the classic UI. So yeah, here are also some quick actions. Certainly more of those will follow over time. And for example, when I'm in this directory here, there's also a nice new feature, which is actions for the current folder, which I would like to emphasize. And that's, if you click here, you get another context menu and can do actions for the folder you are currently in. So just one example for greatly increased usability and improved design. So this I think is it as a quick overview. The ownCloud web interface is, as I said, basically made for ownCloud Infinite Scale, but it is also compatible with ownCloud 10. So you can easily, if you are operating an ownCloud 10 installation, you can already install it as an app via our marketplace and can use it, say, as a supplement to the classic UI. At this point, we are, of course, very happy about any feedback we can get, so we can, improve the new UI up to general availability of ownCloud Infinite Scale and beyond. So far on the overview.
Jump in here, Patrick. If you ask for feedback, guess what, guys? I have a little poll for you. How do you like the new web UI? What do you think? Maybe some of you have seen it before. I'll try it out. What do you think?
while you're answering the poll, one thing I didn't
the
mention.
Results, guys.
Sounds good.
Sorry, Patrick. Yeah.
One thing I forgot to mention, and there are also nice and neat sharing indicators here, which we didn't have so prominently before. So users really can see where shares are and which parts are private, for example. That's one point I wanted to put light on.
Patrick, this one's for you.
I can't see it.
100%.
Oh,
I love it.
Me too.
Excellent. This
Awesome.
is really cool. Really happy about it. But please, once again, we really mean it. I mean, share your feedback. Obviously, community is really important. So if you have any ideas, anything you would like to see improved, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Okay. And Patrick, enough marketing. Back to you.
Cool stuff. Yeah, that's great feedback. As Jacob says, any more feedback is highly appreciated. Try it, play around, tell us what you think about it. And yeah, so far on the first part, so far on the overview of ownCloud Web. So as said, I hope you like ownCloud's new face as much as we do, and yeah, are also looking forward to all the features that we are continuing to add to it. So yeah, let's jump into the second part of today's talk. And let me share that full screen again. Yep. And yeah, as the second part of today's presentation, I want to highlight a new feature in oCIS, in ownCloud Infinite Scale, and that is Spaces. So actually, Spaces, yeah, it is actually not just a new feature, I think, but it's really a new paradigm for collaboration and also for the whole platform. So let me tell you why. So if you look here on the left, you see the layout of ownCloud 10. This is basically how the product and also other competition products present data to users. So here, users basically only get all files where they can find all the data they have access to. Their personal files, files they got shared from other users, projects, basically everything. So we learned in the past from our customers that this mix-up can be confusing for some users, which is why we changed the layout in oCIS. So in oCIS, users will get, you see that on the right, users will get personal and shares first of all. So under personal, they can find their own files and say incoming shares from other users. Those are gathered under shares. And adding to that, we have understood that the regular sharing between users provides basically the right means for short-term collaboration. So someone shares a document with me, I review it, I comment it, and I give it back. That's it. So if you're doing long-term collaboration, like in teams or projects, you certainly have different requirements. So projects can have an own accounting, for example, and projects also frequently live longer than their members are part of an organization. So you need basically to provide ways to manage that efficiently. And that's what we're aiming to provide as a feature with Spaces. So Spaces are areas for team and project collaboration that are independent of personal user data and can have special properties. So yeah, Spaces are basically folders in the first place, but they can have multiple owners. So we realized that by providing a new role in sharing that we call the manager. And yeah, multiple users can have that role in a space. I will show that in a second. And yeah, they can manage the space thereby. So that means they can change, these users can change space memberships and also the space properties. So Spaces also have a dedicated quota on the storage that is independent of any user's personal quota. Yeah, so it's really a dedicated part of the storage. And also they get dedicated trash bins so that all members of a space can collaboratively manage deleted files. So later on, also we plan to provide special policies for spaces. There will, for example, be spaces where external sharing is allowed, somewhere it isn't. You might want to have high security spaces where everything is end-to-end encrypted, or spaces where there's a special, say, file retention policy that, for example, deletes all files that are older than a couple of days, like a week or like a month. And many use cases can, of course, be imagined for that. So we regard spaces also, furthermore, as a prerequisite for third-party integrations, say in the digital workplace, for example. So think of a chat tool where you can attach spaces to channels and basically get efficient cross-application collaboration thereby. So spaces really open up endless possibilities to create value, which is why we are so excited about them. So let's jump back into ownCloud Web again and take a look at spaces in action. So first of all, I didn't focus on that in the first part. Here in the left sidebar, you notice a difference to the classic UI. As I said, here you only have all files where everything is gathered. In ownCloud Infinite Scale, you now have personal files, you have your shares, and third, you have spaces. And that's what we're going to look at. Personal is just my personal files, of course. Shares is, say, short-term collaboration I have with other users. And spaces are basically my teams, my projects, dedicated storage for those collaborations. So what you here see is the spaces overview, where you can see all spaces you are a member of. So I'm currently a member of the marketing space and the sales space. Those are here shown and in a grid view. Spaces also are actually folders, as I said, but have some special properties like discover image, for example, to allow a little bit of customization here. I can navigate into such a space, and then I see, of course, it has a name. It has a subtitle that was also visible in the overview, and it has a longer description that is also able, for example, to tell users how to work here, whether they need to stick to certain guidelines or something like that. And then most importantly, of course, you have files in here. These are, as an example, the documents of the marketing team. And people can now work with this. So for the demo, I don't want to use these existing spaces, but I want to create a new one together with you and show you how that all works. So you might wonder who can actually create a space. So as new spaces basically, you can imagine, consume new physical storage that also has some cost associated with it. Creating a space can be restricted to certain users, or better to say, to certain user roles. And let me take this opportunity for a quick excursion or digression to quickly introduce you to another important cornerstone of Infinite Scale, which is the roles and permissions system. So we have learned from the past that different organizations can have substantially different requirements on what different types of users are allowed to do. So that's why we introduce the roles and permissions system in oCIS that covers for a lot of flexibility in that regard. just as a quick overview, you basically have a number of permissions that the system comes with. These are shown on the left here as an example. So we're talking about spaces. The first two are certainly interesting here. We can have a permission for managing space quota and one for creating spaces, which is what we currently are up to. And these permissions can be associated with user roles, which in turn can be assigned to users and groups in the end. So the roles in the middle are also examples to illustrate some possibilities. In the end, organizations that use infinite scale will be able to define their own roles based on the permissions in the system and assign them to users as desired. So this way we can provide a role-based access control that can actually completely be customized to customer needs. So from different types of users to an actual segregation of duties in administration, basically everything is possible here in infinite scale. So I wanted to quickly use the opportunity to introduce that aspect to you. With that, let's get back to the spaces demo. So now I'm, of course, a user who has a role that allows me to create a new space. So let me do this right away. Let me call that Project Mars. Oh, why did that fail? That is, as I said, it's coming right from the developer kitchen. And maybe there's even someone working on this. Oh no, yeah, okay. Now it has worked. Good. So, okay, now we have that new space, and let's check the context menu, what we can do here. So basically, we can give it a new name, of course, we can change its subtitle, and let's give this space a new image. Take this one, which I think relates nicely to the name. And of course, we want to give it a subtitle. Let's, I don't know, fly to Mars. Okay, you have that here. And the spaces here, I can also alter here the description and stuff like that, of course. And certainly I want to give it a quota. 1 gigabyte is enough for today. Oh, let me confirm that. I can't. Let's take 5 gigabytes. Okay. And of course, I can also check the details view here for the space. I get all the information. I get who is a manager. That's at this point only myself, and I see the quota. And now I, of course, want to add some other people here. So let me, for example, invite some demo users that we have here. Those are usually all physicists or important people from computer science. Do we have here? And we have Marie. Exactly. And here I can choose what role they should have. They can only be a viewer, they can be an editor, and they can, of course, also be a manager. As the name says, here viewers can only view stuff, editors are allowed to change, and managers are allowed to manage the memberships and all the other things like the cover image, like the description and stuff together with me. Let's choose editor for them and add them. So now they are part of the project, and can work here with me. So for instance, if I want Maurice to be able to add further people, I can make him a manager as well. So now he has also the capabilities to use the user management in here. And say, if I leave the organization or want to hand over the data to someone else here or leave the project or things like that, either Maurice removes me, or I can basically remove myself just by hitting remove share here. And I'm outside of the space now. I can still see it because I'm an admin and have the permission to manage all the spaces. But as you see in the list here, I'm not part of the space anymore. So I think that is everything I wanted to show about spaces. And with that, let me come back to the presentation and put it to full screen again. So let me summarize quickly the most important takeaways of the Spaces feature. So first of all, we clearly separate personal files from other users' data, so that the potential for accidentally sharing data, for example, is really minimized, which is super important for a good fraction of our customers. Second, we also relieve the IT departments, as Spaces strictly follow the self-service principle that we have for ownCloud for a long time. So Spaces can be managed by teams or project members themselves, as you have seen. And it is even possible to transfer the ownerships, say when there's a new project lead or team lead, completely without IT interaction, and really with a couple of clicks you have just seen it. Furthermore, Spaces are not using any other user's storage, but really have their own, which is also useful if you want to have a dedicated accounting for projects or for departments, for example. And last but not least, Spaces are dedicated areas that can have dedicated policies and behaviors, just like it might be demanded by corporate policies or the like. So now I hope you're certainly wondering when you can experience all these nice things that I have just shown. And actually you can do so today. ownCloud Infinite Scale is in a tech preview state, as we mentioned in the beginning. That means it is functional, but doesn't yet offer production quality, and not yet all the features that we defined for the initial product. So for testing and early evaluation purposes, you can check out our website and download the latest release of Infinite Scale to play around with it yourself. And apart from that, as Jacob mentioned in the beginning, we're heading towards a feature complete beta release that is planned to happen very soon, namely in Q2 this year. And of course, we look forward to having many people and organizations testing the product together with us and making it ready for general availability, which will then follow afterwards. So I think 2022 will be the year of ownCloud Infinite Scale. I hope this talk provided interesting insights and increased your curiosity about our new product generation. Stay tuned for more announcements that will follow soon. And thanks for listening. Now, I think we have time for some questions from the audience.
And we do have a question indeed, but first of all, before we jump into the questions, you probably know what's coming. I do have people a quick poll for you. So this is obviously about ownCloud Infinite Scale. What we would like to know is if this would be an interesting feature for you. What do you guys think? Okay, thanks for answering. We really appreciate it. This is really important, your feedback. We really appreciate it. Thanks for participating. Excellent. Always depends on the use case, of course, but it's really important. As Patrick mentioned, this has been requested by many of our customers. So we've done everything we can to make it happen, and I think it looks really cool. And I'll close it. And once again, Patrick, this one's for you.
Awesome.
This seems to be pretty interesting. Excellent. And by the way, we do have a question, but it's not really related to spaces. And the question, Patrick, that we have is, can you talk about the installation differences for oCIS, for example, cloud native aspects, K8s, etc. Maybe this would be worth another tech talk.
Certainly.
Patrick, anything you can, we run a little bit out of time, but
we do, but maybe I can.
Maybe.
Yeah, I can grasp it. Yeah, it's as you say, it's a topic for another tech talk. But just to quickly answer it, differences to ownCloud 10, there are many. First of all, you don't have any dependencies. So you basically what you get from us is a single binary file that you can launch, and you have oCIS running. Yeah. That's the most simple case. You can also run that in Docker. We also provide Helm charts for Kubernetes. So this is all covered. And of course, ownCloud Infinite Scale uses modern technologies. It is built for being a cloud native product. It follows a microservice approach and is therefore perfectly suited to be run in Kubernetes environments. So yeah, you can also scale all the services that the product consists of individually, just like these modern deployment methods offer and are thought to be used. So hope that gives you a grasp. We will certainly talk more about these aspects in the near future.
And obviously, I mean, you can always reach out to your account manager or to our techies, get in touch with us after the webinar, and I think we'll be happy to provide a little bit of a guided demo, and depending on your use case and your infrastructure, of course, show you a little bit more about all that. And we have a hand raised for a while now. I'm sorry for the delay, but Patrick was in his flow. I didn't want to interrupt. Michael, would you like to unmute yourself or ask a question? Maybe we answered that question already from the university. Well, due to GDPR, I'm not gonna tell your name, but okay. Apparently, maybe it was a mistake. Okay. Any more questions from our panel? I don't have any questions in the chat function so far. Please feel free to reach out. Obviously, as I said, after the webinar, and there's going to be some more tech talks coming. We're going to have 2 every month. Please check out our events page, oncloud.com/events. News section on our website. You'll find all the upcoming events, trade shows, conferences, community events that are going to take place, and obviously are going to take place with us. So if you want to gather around and have a quick chat, even face to face, keep it possible. Let's all hope for the best. Any more questions coming in? Not so far. Well, since we ran out of time a little bit, Patrick, thank you very much for your insights, for sharing your insights with us. I think it was really interesting. And once again, if you need some more information, we do have an early adopters program. There's going to be a community program for the beta phase as well. You can register for that. Please go to oncloud.com. You can register for beta, and you can be part of our early adopters program. Just send us a quick email at marketing@oncloud.com, and we'll get you guys in touch with the right person here at ownCloud to get you onboarded to early adopters program, where you can basically, test it, get feedback from other developers, practically around the world. This is really a global community working on this project, from CERN, for example, and Switzerland, guys from Australia. Really, this is global, and so keep an eye on that if you wish to chat with them, get around a little bit, and get some more insights. Then this is definitely the place to be for you. And if not, there's going to be some more infos coming soon, as I mentioned before, in our blog posts. Follow that as well. Make sure you don't miss it. Better is coming. Thank you, guys. Once again, Patrick, thank you so much. And I think we're a couple of minutes late, no more questions coming in. So thanks everybody for our Tech Talk today, and looking forward to see you all at maybe our expert talk, March 31st, GDPR versus digital sovereignty. And make sure you don't miss our next Tech Talk, for those of you with a technical background, on our integration with VNC Talk. This is quite interesting as well. Really cool, April 5th. ownCloud.com/events. Patrick, thanks, and thanks everybody for joining. Oh, we have another question coming in. Oh, I was close to missing that. I can't see it. So please, there was somebody writing a question, maybe deleted it. Sorry for that. Feel free to reach out. Thanks everybody, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. Bye.